yet. And that's when I checked into this motel, and I stayed there for about 2 months to kind of pound out the first treatment.
And, you know, talk to them about Jessica Biel.
I had met, we had several meetings.
We sort of had this great connection, even from the first meeting that we had about this script, which I had like 2 or 3, just Tim and I, before everything was actually going to happen and we were actually going to make this movie, which almost felt like we were never going to make.
I assured her, you know, the intention of the character and how it was going to be shot, and I included her in every step of the way to build that trust.
It's just felt really safe to just go for things that I normally wouldn't go for.
I met Ray at this Italian restaurant. I walked.
Rose Johnny is a really strong, powerful woman who has had some bad fortune in her life. She's a professionally trained dancer, but she can't get a job. So she's never been to college and she doesn't have a really good education. So what do you do? And she's a stripper.
We hired a choreographer named Caddy Jean, unique burlesque style, to kind of create and choreograph this fabric dance sequence. And then we brought in this other choreographer named Karma Neff, and she's very good at like some floor stuff.
Physically, I had so much to do and so much to learn, and it was so much harder than I had ever imagined.
I didn't know she has a dance background. She was a dancer herself, and obviously she's very athletic. So the learning curve, I thought, was going to take months. She was like doing all these amazing moves on the fabric and just the sensuality that she was able to give on the floor.
I've gained such a greater respect for the women that actually do this for a living. It's so difficult. She meets Jack and she has this connection with this person, and it's kind of a tumultuous relationship.
Get your hands off me!
All right.
But he wants to talk to her and he wants to communicate with her, and he makes her feel very safe instantly.
And action.
Can I tell you a secret? I see my father all the time.
Rose Johnny loses her dog. Cordy actually finds this animal and he reunites them. He reunites and brings her dog Rudy back to her life. And it's like an instant connection between these two, these kind of kindred spirits who are sort of oddballs in society and kind of, you know, more reserved, introverted people in some way.
A puppeteer. He comes from a family where he's been brought up doing this all his life, so he's lived this kind of slightly strange, slightly excluded existence, doing something that is thought of by society as being bizarre because it's dealing with death. He can perform in front of people. He can.
Scene that Cordy and I share, where we hug each other, and he gives back my dog. That first meeting scene where we're in his kitchen, we're these 2 desperate people who just need this physical touch because they haven't had it in so long.
This idea of 2 insecure people finding something in the air is quite an amazing thing.
Like Rose Johnny's world.
It was probably the most fun to shoot. Well, the most fun scenes to shoot in this film, and maybe in almost any of the other films that I've ever done before.
We were both kind of pinching stars, looking up at the stars as well as lying on them.
To just play like little kids and laugh and scream and let everything out just was a huge release.
And the whole thing with the shopping cart was a sense of innocence, you know, and I wanted to portray that in this world when everything...
Finding the courage to go on, to keep living, to keep working.
Color of an emotion. The quiet desperation that we have for